Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to continue on with writing equations, okay? So last week, last Monday, a week ago, we worked on writing equations from phrases, like 15 less than a number b is 12, right? And we wrote that equation. So now we're going to bring in real world scenarios, and you've got to be able to write the equation and solve it, okay? So I want you to take a look at this first one. We're going to go through it together. We're going to underline important things, keywords. It says if Sam earns $4, okay, $4 more, he'll have $52. How much money does he have to start out with? Now, when you're writing equations, just like when we wrote expressions, you have to define your variable. Because this time we've got to solve it, right? We've got to figure out what our variable is. So in this case, I'm going to say our variable is x. And we've got to say, what does x stand for? In this case, when you're writing equations, to define your variable typically stands for your question, what you're trying to find. Olivia?
How much money he start out with?
Yes. How much money he has to start out with. Okay? So when we define our variable, it's going to be, I'm going to condense it down a little bit. Okay? It's going to be the amount of money he starts with. Okay? When we're writing equations, your variable typically stands for your question because that's what you're trying to figure out. And when we solve equations, we're trying to figure out what x is, right? We're trying to figure out what our variable is. When we write our equation, our variable has to be in our equation, right? We've got to solve it. So, it says, I'm going to read through it again, okay? If he earns $4 more, think of what more means, okay? He'll have $52, okay? What does our equation have to equal, Olivia? Nope. Because x is going to be part of our equation, because then we're going to have to solve that equation, okay? Ashlyn? 52. He'll have $52. So have means that our equation has to equal 52. Okay? Now, if we have x, the amount of money that he starts with, okay? So I'm going to have x, the amount of money that he starts with, if he earns $4 more. What? Plus 4, right? The amount of money that I start with, or that he starts with, plus $4 more, then he'll have $52. Does that make sense, guys? Okay? Everybody staying with me? What's our goal when we solve this? Isolate our variable. Okay? So if we go ahead and solve it, we've got to isolate our variable. What do we do to both sides?
Subtract 4.
Subtract 4. Good, Kira. So, subtract 4. Subtract 4. Okay? Now, if I have 4 minus 4, those are going to cancel each other out. So I'm left with x on this side. And what's 52 minus 4? 48. Okay? Can we check our answer? Absolutely. That's the beauty of algebra. I can take my answer and I can plug it back in for x. And is 48 plus 4, does that equal 52? Yes. And you know what you should always say when you answer a real world problem? When you get your answer, what question should you ask yourself? Does my answer make sense? Does this make sense? Yeah, absolutely. Okay? Now, everybody have this copy down? Why do you not? So why don't you get a piece of paper? Okay. We're going to work through the second one together again. Okay, so let's read through it. Penny has some money. After she pays, I know, right? She has some money. Okay? After she pays $5 for her new kitten, she will have $27. How much money does she have now? So first thing that we've got to do is we've got to define our variable. Okay? What are we trying to figure out? First, what do you want your variable to be? X is so boring. K for kitten, right? Okay.
This should be C.
$5 for a new kitten. Why can't you just go find a
Okay.
tray?
What does my variable stand for? Define my variable, Isaiah.
How much money she has left after buying the kitten?
Nope.
How much money she
Nope.
Whoa.
Levi?
How much money she has left before buying the kitten?
When you define your variable, it's your question. It's what you're trying to figure out. Cheyenne?
The amount of money she started with.
The amount of money she has now. Okay? All right, so K stands for the amount of money she has now. Okay? And when we write our equation, our variable has got to be in a place in our equation where we can solve it. Okay? So, Penny has some money. After she pays $5 for her new kitten, she will have $27. So what does our, I think it's easier to figure out what your equation equals.
How much money does she
Okay.
have now? It's clear.
Okay? She will have $27. So that means our equation is going to equal what?
27.
$27. She will have. Have is a good way to say equal. So we know that our equation has to equal 27. K stands for how much money she has right now, right? Okay? So we've got K. And then after she pays $5. So if I'm going to pay something, am I getting money or am I losing money?
Losing.
So will I be what? I'll be subtracting. So the amount of money she has right now minus the $5 that she pays for her kitten, then she'll be left with $27. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay. How do I solve this? We gotta isolate our variable, so in order to do that, what do we have to do? Parsley, what we gotta do, buddy?
Add K, or no, add 5, and then 5 again.
Right, we add 5 to both sides of our equal sign.
Yeah.
Okay? So this is like -5 plus 5. They're always going to equal 0. And we're left with K equals 27 plus 5. Good. Is $32. So she does first. Does my answer make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, because if she has $32 right now, and then she pays $5 for her kitten, she'll be left with $27.
That isn't a lot of money.
Not at all. Okay?
How she gonna pay that? Is cheap?
What about interest?
All right.
Insurance.
We don't get
She just got a kitten up from the road and just placed a $5 bill and called it a day.
Hey, maybe
She's like,
so.
oh, I wonder whose cat this is. I'll just pay the tax.
Okay,
She got off.
on the third one here. Listen, we're gonna baby step this. I want you to read the equation or read the problem, the third problem about Christy's dad, okay? And I want you to define the variable. Tell me what the variable stands for. Tell me what we're trying to figure out. Take a minute and do that. Okay, so Christy's dad makes 3 times as much per hour as she does. If he makes $48 per hour, how much per hour does Christy make? Okay? So I'm going to use, I don't know, K for a variable again. Okay? What does it stand for? Define my variable. What are we trying to figure out, Cheyenne?
How much per hour Krista makes?
Right. Okay? We're trying to figure out how much per hour Christy makes. Who got that right? Who defined the variable correctly? Okay. Remember, with a word problem, with a word problem, with a real life situation, it's your question. It's what you're trying to figure out. Okay. We're trying to figure out how much per hour Christy makes. Okay. So we know that's going to be K, and that's going to be part of our equation. Okay. And it says that Christy's dad makes 3 times as much per hour, excuse me, as she does. Well, if K stands for how much Christy makes, her dad makes 3 times as much as she does. So what do we have to do here? We're going to multiply by what? 3, right? So it's going to be 3K, 3 times K. 3 times the amount that Christy makes, okay, equals what? He makes 48 per hour, so it equals 48.
That's a good one.
Okay? Now to solve it, we know our goal is to isolate our variable. Then what do?
We divide.
Right, it's being multiplied right now. So we've got to divide each side by 3. Okay? 3 divided by 3, that's 1. Remember, they cancel each other out. We're left with K. And now we do 48 divided by 3. Good, Durst. Okay? Is $16 per hour. So that means that Christy makes $16 per hour. Does our answer make sense? Yes. Okay, can we check our answer? Yes, we could take 16 times 3 and get 48. You guys catching on? Okay? The next one. Read it, define your variable, write your equation. See if you can figure it out. Go ahead and do it. Okay, so it says, some friends made $48 selling lemonade. If each friend makes $12, how many friends divided the money? Okay? Olivia, you want to define my variable for me?
How much money each one makes?
Nope. Each friend makes $12. Okay, read your question, Alyssa.
The number of friends.
How many friends?
divided the money.
Yeah, okay. So we could put the number of friends, and we can leave it like that, the number of friends, or who divided the money. Don't erase it. The more specific, the better, okay? So the number of friends. Okay, some friends made $48 selling lemonade. If each friend makes $12, how many friends divided the money? So this is tricky, okay?
Yeah, not really.
Okay, how much total money do they make?
$48.
$48. That's what our equation equals. $48. Okay? And then F stands for the number of friends. Well, each friend made how much? $12. So I'm going to take the $12 times the number of friends equals $48. That's your equation.
I wrote it.
Okay? Did you write it a way to where you were going to solve it? Did you write it like this? 48 divided by 12 equals F.
Yeah.
Okay? Nobody in their right mind would ever count that wrong. Okay? You're still going to get the right answer. But they want you to write an equation that you're going to have to solve. Okay?
I can solve that easy.
So, this means each friend made $12. So you're going to take $12 times each friend. And all together they made 48. What do I do to each side to solve this?
Divide 12.
Divide by 12. Good. Divide each side by 12. Cancel those out. So F, 48 divided by 12 is 4. Okay? So there were 4 friends. They each made $12 apiece for a total of $48. Got it? Okay? All right, I want you to try to do the last one all by yourself.